Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Miss Polly Brindle.
Hello, hello.
What is going on? I mean, listen, I've been following your Instagram. You've been counting down the premiere of Selling the OC, and now it is here.
I know. We're right down to the crunch time. Everyone is so excited. Every single person that I've ever met in my life is like texting and messaging and being like, "Oh my God, I know you, you're on TV." And I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and that it's all very positive though. Everyone is so excited. I've seen the show. It's a great show. So yeah, it's kind of like I don't really know what to do with myself.
Are people just from your hometown in Northern England just coming out of the woodworks that you haven't spoken to in forever?
Oh yeah. One good one was actually a friend, like an old friend from like kindergarten, like age. Her mum messaged me being like, "Oh my God," blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even like. How do I know this person? I don't want to be rude and be like, I don't know you, but this is mental. Like it's absolutely mental.
Did you get any advice like from Jason? I actually watched the whole thing too. I figured, I'd watch the first episode in preparation of sitting down and chatting with you. No, there's no first episode. This all 8 episodes. I could not stop. I binged them back to back, and it was
That
like
is what everyone who's seen it has said. It's very bingeable, especially the last four, in my opinion, really pop off. um, but yes, there's no one episode, and we'll go to get back to it later. It's you sit down and 5 hours later you've been spat out, being like, holy.
seriously.
I have a potty mouth, as you probably know. So I'm trying not to swear.
You can say anything you want here. I'm from New York City, so I have a really bad mouth myself.
Excellent.
Did you get any advice from Jason though? Just having gone through this before and like just being in the public eye and kind of what to expect once all these episodes drop.
Yeah, Jason, I'm very close with Jason as a friend too. He has been so helpful, and he's so just like straightforward with things that, I have a tendency to kind of like stress about things and be like, and he's like, this is what it is. It's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Speak to Mary. Speak to Chrishell. And so I'm like, okay. And yeah, Mary, Chrishell, and Amanza have all given me really great advice over the last kind of 6-7 months. And yeah, I actually I was with Mary yesterday because I just got a listing in Marina Del Rey, which is in LA. And I'm bringing her on with me because I think joining forces with Mary is a great option to get the house sold. She's a veteran at this, and especially in the LA area. I sell down in Orange County, so it's kind of nice to meet the two offices. But she's been very, very helpful too, especially yesterday. She was like, okay, this is what's going to happen, it's going to be fine, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I've had great advice.
What's like one piece of advice either from like Amanza or Mary or Chrishell that like sticks out, and who gave it to you?
Um, Actually, Mary told me that I can choose what I talk about or not. Because for me, I'm like, I want, every experience, and I'm new at this. So if someone asks me a question that isn't necessarily, real estate related or the show related, and it's personal, like I can say, do you know what? Like, can we just talk about, this or this, or, I have, which was good advice, because I feel like, I don't want to get stuck in a situation where I feel uncomfortable, but that is part and parcel of doing this. It's putting ourselves in such a vulnerable position of, the public are going to want to know about our lives too, because we're putting it out there. And so, she's like, you just gotta, and you'll learn quickly about what you are comfortable talking about and what you're not. And it's okay if you don't want to talk about something. You don't have to, talk about things that you don't want, which for me was like, okay, good.
You're like, phew. Well, no, I mean, we did learn a little bit about, this season you opened up about like, your ex and like how you found these pictures on his phone. And like, did you have any reservations, just because like you said, the public, once you're on TV, does want to know about all these very personal things. And that's kind of a personal thing to share with the world.
Yeah, very personal. But that for me is just fact of how I've got to where I've got to. Because if that didn't happen, I would, have been married for 11 years at this point. I would have, potentially have had children not being in this world. So in regards to, explaining how I've got to where I've got, I think it is an integral part of my story. And as well, I didn't have any reservations because, I know a lot of people are in situations that are similar and they don't have the confidence or, the feeling that they can leave and, they kind of stay in a situation that's not great. And, if I inspire one person to get out of a bad situation by, opening up about my story, then I am more than happy with that,
Absolutely. Well, I know that you were discovered by a modeling scout at a young age. I mean, did that prepare you at all? Like starting to work. I mean, I just make up my own backstory, but I think starting to work like at a young age and like, a difficult business also, has that helped you in real estate at all?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My whole I've lived about 15 different lives. It's actually mental. I was born and raised in a very tiny town in the north of England. Everyone knows everyone. It's like everyone, my brother and my sister both married their high school sweethearts. It's one of those places. And I get randomly scouted. I was actually drunk in a pub when I was 15. That's the kind of place that it was. But yeah, I got this opportunity to model. And 16, I finished high school, and an agency in Paris wanted me to represent me over there. So I moved to Paris when I was 16. It's a different country, different language, and I was 16 years old. And at the time, I was like, oh, this is cool, like, whatever. And then thinking back, I'm like, oh my God, I was a baby. But I was there for 3 years. I went thinking, oh, I'll try for a couple of weeks and, see what happens. And I ended up having, success there. I did a Dior campaign. I was doing, all kinds of stuff that was just like, wait, what? Someone's
Right.
going to pay me to like just sit there and be quiet? Like, this is great. Like, I'm getting my hair and makeup done and I'm meeting all these cool people. And yeah, I had a lot of freedom growing up. My parents basically let me do what I want. So there was no kind of, I have to stay home or, they were
Wow.
very lax